The Palenque astronaut, a being that came from the stars. On June 16, 1952, the archaeologist Alberto Ruz de Lhuillier found the temple of the Inscriptions of Palenque for the first time. There was the tomb of Pacal the Great, better known as the Astronaut of Palenque. The engraving on the tomb has generated much controversy among archaeologists and theorists. Under a set of 45 steps in the temple of the Inscriptions of Palenque is the tomb of Pacal the Great. One of the most controversial mausoleums in history already hides the possible Palenque astronaut. The inscriptions appear to show the character wielding some kind of electronic device, which many theorists suggest is a spaceship. This machinery is believed to be a spaceship by many theorists. The Palenque astronaut, who was he really? When the experts examined the remains, they noticed that Pacal's physical characteristics were completely different from the rest of the Mayan population. In addition, he had no gemstones embedded in his teeth and his skull was not deformed. Something that is totally normal for the Mayan kings. The quality of the jewels and the quantity that was found gives an idea of the hierarchy that the character had. Furthermore, his slender hands and elongated fingers were covered in rings. The analysis that have been made to the body date it to an age of around 2,000 years. All these data have led many researchers to question what the Pacal was. For example, the famous theorist Erich von Daniken describes it as a being that appears seated and bent over some controls, similar to an astronaut inside the cockpit. The being also wears a helmet from which flexible tubes come out. In front of his nose, you can see what appears to be an oxygen balloon, and with both hands, he manipulates a kind of command control. The upper hand seems to be in a position to turn a button. 4 fingers are clearly visible on the left hand, with the little finger bent. This hand seems to be about to take a lever, just like the manual throttles of motorcycles, and the left heel rests on a pedal of different levels. The clothing of the Palenque astronaut. In addition to everything mentioned above, another issue to take into account is the clothing of the being, which seems to be too modern. Under his chin, with the naked eye, you can see a garment similar to a swan neck pullover that fits completely around the torso and ends in ribbed cuffs. He also wears a wide belt with a safety buckle, pants with thick tights, and a much tighter interior that reaches the ankles. Simply put, it's not just the equipment, but the clothing is also extremely similar to that of the astronauts. It could be said that the Palenque astronaut was perfectly equipped. Today, the debate continues to be very active. So who was Pacal the Great? The image suggests that the ancient legends of gods that came from the heavens and the stars could be real. Leave us your views in the comment section.